Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this episode we're going to make a gorgeous Easter card using lots of Anna Griffin goodies. Everything I do use I shall put in a detailed list on my blog. If you've ever got anything to say or you want to comment or message me, please feel free on Facebook or my blog. You can comment on YouTube but I can't reply because my replies end up being deleted. There's a glitch on my account. It's going to be there forevermore, and I know I'm like a parrot repeating myself, but for new viewers, they might not know. So comment on Facebook and my blog if you want to reply. If you're quite happy for no reply, just for me, because I do read everything, you can comment on YouTube still. Okay, so this is our base card. It's a 7x5" card in ivory, and I'm just going to use my Anna Griffin bone folder from my Anna Griffin tool set to make sure that my score and crease is nice and sharp on the card, because it enables it to look more professional and stand up nicely when it's on a mantelpiece. Now I know that some of you, your favourite part is the inside, which is great. You know, I like it all. I do like inside ideas as much as the next person, so I enjoy giving you ideas. So the idea for this card is very, very simple. I've taken a piece of ivory cardstock that actually does match my card on this occasion, because sometimes I don't use matching cardstock, and I've tinted the edge with a lilac ink pad, and I'm just going to insert this in the centre of the card. I've got flat tape on the back of it, and I'm just going to pop that in there like so. Press it down. The next thing I've got is a piece of lilac metallic cardstock from Anna's Metallic Layers. Now these are in 7x5" size, but I've cut this down because it's actually part from the front of the card that we're going to use. It's the centre of it, so I'm being quite economical with it and I'm not wasting anything. I've taken it through my Xyron machine to get adhesive on the back, and I'm simply going to position that through the centre of our card like that. Now I've stamped the words Easter Greetings on the actual metallic cardstock, and this is from the seasonal stamps Easter and Love from Anna. I've stamped it with a lilac ink pad, and then I've heat embossed it. I don't know if you can see the shine, just using a clear embossing powder. Now you could use Anna's clear embossing powder. I've used a different brand because we haven't got Anna's embossing powder in the UK yet. So, but you could use, you know, whatever you've got, but that gives it a nice gloss and shine, and it isn't going to affect the card closing. So over the next coming weeks we're going to do simple techniques that are a little bit different for your cards as well. We're going to incorporate a few different things, and this is one of them, the heat embossing for the inside of your card. So you've still got room for your message to write to and from, etc., even though you've got the heat embossing. Now I've used the Vintage Garden die cuts, and because this is an Easter card I'm using the pansies because I feel they're quite Eastery. Nice and floral for this time. Well, I'm saying for this time of year. We've had terrible weather. Spring hasn't sprung here yet, with its -8, whatever we've had from the beast from the east and the pest from the west. So I'm hoping this might, you know, shows a little bit of spring now with this card. So I've attached one of the pansies to one side, and on the sheet where you get your vintage die cuts, these would actually build up to create a decoupage image, but I'm using them separately, and I think I'm going to pop the other pansies section. I think we'll have it here. I think that looks quite good. So that is our insert finished. Very simple, very quick, and it's just an added little bit of something that's pretty, that's going to match the outside of our card. Because, you know, we don't want to overdo it on the inside, because you might still want to write your nice Easter message, etc., and there's still room, but yet the inside will still match to the outside. So I'm just going to use my bone folder again to make sure I've still got that nice sharp crease. Something that I always forget to mention, it doesn't matter what card I'm making, whatever company, whatever products, I always do this with the bone folder, because I do find it helps the card when it's stood on a mantelpiece or a windowsill or wherever it's going to stand. It does look crisper along the edge. So it isn't just the Anna projects that I do this with, it's if I'm making a card, whoever I'm making it for, I do that with the edge. So it's worth a try if you've never tried it before. And also it just makes them close nicer. So now we can do the front of our card. Now you've already seen that I've taken from the metallic layers from Anna, I've cut a section and I've cut it just to fit my 7x5 card. Now these layers are actually 7x5 in size, but I've trimmed this because I want it to give me the ivory edge of the card. And then obviously I've cut an aperture out of the centre, and that's the centre that we've used in the centre of the card. So I can add this to the front of my card. Now anybody who's worrying about taking the middle section out and everything not sitting flat on it, because I'm covering this over, you won't see that section. It won't look any different, it will just look like it's a full layer. Now I'm using the Love and Easter card layers, and I've taken one of the smaller size layers and I've simply added flat adhesive tape on the back, and I'm going to add this through the centre of our card, and that covers the aperture that we've die cut from the first layer. There we go. And now you would never know that there was an aperture cut. Next, again using the metallic cardstock, I've cut out, using the Fretwork 2 dies, 2 of the ornamental fretwork, like a Celtic fretwork. So I've cut it out twice, and I've taken it through my Xyron machine to get adhesive on the back. I've already been around the edges to take away that excess adhesive, and I'm simply going to add these to my card centre. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them both just slightly crossing through the middle like that. There we go. And press those down. Now if for any reason when you use Xyron adhesive and you've peeled everything off, if you've got any little bits left on it, take the top section that you've peeled away and just dab it on, and it will cling to any adhesive that's poking out, and it will remove it for you. So it will be better to spend a little bit more time on it than I'm doing, but I have already been around the edges and there shouldn't be too much there anyway. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we've taken the Vintage Garden die cuts from Anna. How terrible of me. And we've got 2 of the pansies, and I've also stamped happy. See, I can't get my words out today, I must apologise. I've stamped Easter greetings from the Easter and the Love seasonal stamp set. Again, I've stamped it in a lilac ink, and then I've heat embossed it, I don't know if you can pick that up, with a clear embossing powder. Now on the back of this, I've got 2 foam pads in the centre. It's because I've had flu and I've been off. And I think my brain's gone to sleep. So I've been getting people's names wrong for the last week. I think I'm just getting old. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Easter greeting stamp and I'm simply going to slot the tail of it. I'll do this a bit closer to the camera. Slot the tail of it through the pansy like that. And then the other side, I'm slotting the other tail through the pansy like that. And then I'm going to place these onto the card. Now, where I said I've got the 2 pieces of foam in the middle of the sentiment, the sentiment had tape on the ends so that it will stick to the pansies, and then everything is the same height when I place it onto the card, like so. There we go. Place it towards the top. Maybe about there. There we go. Press it down so it all sticks. Then I've got a single pansy that I've created the decoupage with from the Vintage Garden die cuts. And I'm simply going to add that underneath the sentiment like that. And then I'm going to add my little satin bow at the bottom underneath the pansy on the tail of it. There we go. And then to finish the card off, because it's an Easter card, I've got a little bunny. And I've stamped the bunny from the Easter and the Love set. And I've stamped him in 2 colours. So I've taken a brown ink pad over all of the bunny, and then I've tapped a black ink pad just along its back. And then I'm going to place it just at the top of our pansies, and I'm going to put its paws between the sentiment and the back of the sentiment and slot it over like that. There we go. And that is our Easter card finished. Something a little bit different, quite a plain insert, but still very pretty because it matches the spring-like feel of the outside. And so pretty on the outside with the pansies and a little bunny to finish off our Easter card. See, I'm at it again. Our Easter card. Stands up nicely. Won't need any special padding or envelope or anything. And it's just such a pretty card for Easter. If sending Easter cards is something that you like to do, the sets from Anna are just, you know, you could do so many different kinds of Easter cards, whether it be floral or religious or bunny orientated. There's just so much scope for them, and I just hope this has given you a little bit of an idea just for something different for Easter. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.